So the purpose of this vlog, I learned a lot of things on this long trip that I did to Pennsylvania and back. Mostly about limitations and gizmos and gadgets that can help you. The first thing about touring on a sport bike like this, you're gonna have to accept that you're gonna be uncomfortable and it's a bad idea for you to be doing it. Your ass and your feet and your hands are gonna hurt. Get the softest seat you can, maybe something with some airflow. It's really gonna help. I invested in an Airhawk seat. I'll have to jump off and show you guys that. But basically what it is there's a company that started out making pads for people who had to sit in wheelchairs all day. Basically what they ended up doing is making something that would allow air to flow so that your ass isn't sweating all day. Supplement that with packing as lightly as you can. The key to a long tour is try to get everything off your back, because the more weight that you have on the back, the more weight you're going to have on your butt, and the more weight is going to be in your seat. And that's just one of those points where you don't want to add weight. That being said, I didn't want to spend $400 on the Panigale saddlebags that SW Motec sells. I thought about it, but then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be doing enough touring on this bike for that to make any sense. So I didn't. Therefore, I used a backpack. Now you can use any backpack, but one thing that I did find after a long tour is that I would, because my hands and my feet and my butt hurt so much, I would slide my butt all the way back off the seat, put my chest down on the tank, and take all the pressure off of my hands and just kind of keep my weight supported by my toes. So the point of me telling you that is that this Ogio Mach 5 backpack, it's got a hard shell on the back so it doesn't flap in the wind. And now that's not a big deal. You could do this with anything, but it kind of helps. After 11 hours of getting slapped by the bag, flapping in the wind, you kind of get over it. So again, pack smart, pack light. Don't bring all your gold bullion with you.
I love gold!
One thing that this bag allows for that's very crucial is camelback insert. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated. And the nice thing about having this camelback, I think it was a 70-ounce camelback, so think of that's like 2 Nalgene bottles, or like, that's basically 2 liters. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go for a ride like that, have no water, and then cramp up. That would be bad. Start cramping up, then that starts affecting your riding. But still, I got to my destination, I don't think I peed for like 18 hours. No, it was over 24 hours. It was at least 24 hours. I was so dehydrated, even with drinking that much water, because I was sweating and it was hot. The very last thing that I want to talk about is the Sena headset. I've got the 20S on the side of the helmet. I think I rode for like 22 hours, and I think the last 30 minutes is when the Sena died. And that's a big morale booster as well, because it keeps you entertained. Plus, I got soaked, and these things, I think I read in the manual, or I heard during a review, that these things will shut down if it gets wet. And I don't know how much, maybe jumping in a pool I could have got soaked a little more, but I mean, the thing stayed on the entire time. Those things are very resilient. The battery life is huge, and it does the job. It really does. You know, and there's points on this long ride where my wife would call to check in, see how things are going, and I could just answer it and talk to her while I'm riding. You know, it's huge. That's really it. Everything else is a mental game. Oh, one last thing that I want to mention. I don't know if it's my grips, or I don't know if it's the amount of shake that's in the bike, but I bought one of those little cruise control thingies. You stick on your throttle and you tighten it down, and then it rests against the brake lever. I bought one of those and tested it out, and it didn't work at all. I think my grips might be too spongy. That would have been nice to have, but I did notice that it was very distracting. But yeah, that's really it. That's really it. So let's summarize. Uncomfortable, bad idea for ass hurt. Softest seat, pack lightly, gold hydrated, P, Sena morale booster. Everything else is a mental game. Next time I check in, I'll either be at a gas station or I'll be sitting on the side of the road stranded. All right, we'll check in soon. Boom. We did it. right, so we were 160 miles into that trip meter. That ain't bad. 160 miles on a tank of gas on the Panigale. I think I filled it up too, and it was, I think I had 1 more gallon to go. If you need to stretch it, you could probably really do 200 miles if you, I mean, if you don't drive like I just was.